Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. Jazakallahu khairan. Thank you for joining us for our first ever annual general meeting. I'm really pleased that we've got quite a few people joining us, such as our section leaders and assistant leaders. And inshallah, we're going to have more parents join us. Ahmed's in charge of letting them in. There are a couple of people I want to introduce because obviously not everyone knows everyone who's here. So first, if you don't know who I am, I'm Tasmia and I'm the chair of the group. Then we have Irfan Beg, who is our group treasurer. Then we have Tazkia Khan, who is our group secretary. And then everyone knows Ahmed, of course, our GSL. And together we are the group's executive committee. So just briefly, just to let you know what the group executive committee is, we're responsible for the management of the Scout group and we are accountable to the Group Scout Council. The Group Scout Council is made up of our section leaders, our assistant section leaders, our parents of our members. So essentially everyone who's present at this meeting. So what today is going to be doing is basically us as the exec, we're going to be sort of reporting back to you, the Group Scout Council, inshallah. Just a couple of other people to introduce. So we've got Taiba, who is our section leader for the Cubs, and Karina, our section leader for the Beavers. We've also got Severin, who is our assistant section leader from the Cubs. And I think that's it. We are waiting for a couple more people, but inshallah, when they join, they'll join. I'd like to introduce to everyone who doesn't know who he is. This is Mike Jackson. He is the district chair to Lewisham Scouts. Thank you so much for joining us, Mike. Thank you for joining us. I'm looking at the wrong screen, by the way. Okay, second matter on the agenda. Scroll down a bit, sorry. Usually AGMs are face-to-face, but we've decided just for this one, we're going to hold as virtually. But inshallah, the next year's one, lockdown permitting and not, we will hold a face-to-face one, make it a bit more of a social and personal kind of setting. So we're recording this AGM. I've muted everyone for now just because we've got quite a bit to go through on our agenda and I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time. So if you have any questions or any queries, please leave a comment in the chat and I will address them after the AGM, inshallah. The actual annual report that we are covering in this meeting, we won't be reading it out or anything. It was circulated to you, hopefully, before the meeting. So I'm hoping you've had a read of it. But what we will do is put the annual report as well as the minutes of this AGM on the website afterwards. So you can have a look at it as well then. Tazkia, our group secretary, is taking the minutes at the moment. I'm hoping this meeting will not take longer than half an hour. So we're going to be trying to strict on the agenda. There will be some voting going on and some polling. So on Zoom, what we've asked is when you have to do the voting, we have to elect certain members and things like that. When you do it, there is a reaction button. I think if you're using your computer, on the bottom of the Zoom bar, it says raise hand. So that is the reaction button I'd like you to use when we are electing or voting for somebody. If not, if you're on your phone or something, there might be a reaction button. So maybe look for that and look for the raise hand button, inshallah. And we'll go through the majority. Has anyone else joined? Okay, just a couple more people I'd like to introduce. So we've got Farhaz Islam, who is our section leader for the Scouts section. We've got Fatima Ben Shalia, who is our assistant Beaver leader. And then I'd also like to introduce Shahid Sheikh. He's the chair from 30th Pearly Scouts, who has very kindly agreed to be our independent scrutineer. So he's looked through all our financial documents and things like that. So thank you for joining us, Brother Shahid. Alhamdulillah. Some apologies for absences. So Sister Yawanda, who's the assistant section leader for the Scout section, she couldn't be here tonight, so she sent her apologies, as well as Sister Saika, who is the assistant leader for the Beavers. Okay, that was a long intro. First actual matter of the AGM. So the Group Scout Council is to receive and adopt the annual report and accounts. So as I've said, I did circulate the report and the accounts to you prior to the AGM. So we don't actually approve of the AGM here. As the exec, we have produced the report and we have approved it. We just need the Group Scout Council, as in yourselves, to just say that you've received it. So if everyone can use that little raise hand button on their reaction bar, just to say that they have received the annual report, and I'm hoping people have read it if possible, and we're just going to take down numbers of how many people have actually read it or received it. So far 5. Okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah, that's fine. We'll say 5. Okay, so it seems like quite a few of us have actually received it. So alhamdulillah. Yeah, but they do count as well. Yeah, so it's fine. Okay, alhamdulillah. So we will be putting it up on the website for you to have another read if you would like to, and then we will be sending it off to the district to have a look as well. The next bit is going to be led by Ahmed because, well, he'll explain it to you.
So basically, as part of the AGM, certain members of the group executive need to be reappointed or elected in the presence of the Group Scout Council. So I will be nominating the group chair, the group treasurer, and the group secretary. And I need you guys, the Group Scout Council, to vote on the nominations. And if the member is successfully reappointed, then that's all there is to it. If for whatever reason a majority of you do not raise your hand, we will need to come back to the matter in a separate meeting. So firstly, for the group chair, I would like to nominate the current chair of the group, Tasmia Khan. So if you agree that she should continue to be the chair, the group chair, and please do raise your hand. Excellent. So that's a majority vote, and Tasmia has therefore been re-elected as the group chair.
Thank you.
Then we have our group treasurer. I would like to nominate Irfan Beg, our current treasurer. And if you agree that he should continue in the role, please do raise your hand, or in the chat say I agree or agree. Thankfully, we have Irfan re-elected as our group treasurer. And lastly, but not leastly, we have our group secretary. I would like to nominate Tazkiya Khan, who is our current group secretary. Please, if you agree, could everyone raise their hands using the hands up or the just saying I agree in the chat. So we have a majority vote, and Tazkiya has been re-elected as the group secretary. Jazakumullah khairan everyone for making that painless. So the next point on the agenda, approval of the Group Scout Leaders nomination of members of the Group Executive Committee. So next, our section leaders, alhamdulillah, would like to join the Group Executive Committee as ex officio members. So basically an ex officio member of the executive is someone who has the right to be on the executive because of their position. So in this case, it's as section leaders. So 2 of our section leaders have given written confirmation. They understand what the role entails, and they would like to take up the role on the executive committee and become charity trustees for the group. They understand it's an important role and what it entails. The first nomination, Tayyib Zia, is the Cub section leader, and I would like them to join the executive committee. If, as the council, you approve, please do show a raise of hands or say agree in the chat. There's a majority passed there. So congratulations, Taiba. Alhamdulillah, you have been elected. The second nomination is Karina Kamara, the Beaver section leader. Please show a vote of hands if you approve of Karina joining the executive committee. So Jazakumullah khairan everyone for making that painless. Congratulations, Karina. You have been elected to the executive. Okay, so thanks to everyone for voting, and on behalf of the rest of the executive committee, I am happy to welcome Taiba and Karina.
This is just a short video that the GSL has put together, of what some of our members had to say about Scouts on the 27th night for Lewisham Islamic Centre's fundraising. So please enjoy.
Just to introduce the video, alhamdulillah, Lewisham Masjid has always seen the Scouts group as, you know, part of its vision and part of its plans for its development. The Scouts group, alhamdulillah, is a key part of developing the next generation of the members of Lewisham Islamic Centre's community. And so on the 27th night of Ramadan, they invited our children down to come and talk about Scouts, come and talk about their vision for the mosque's future. And I took some clips from that. And you know what? I think the grown-ups have talked enough, so we'll let the kids do the talking.
Can you tell me a little bit about, let me look, which badge do I like? I do like that one with the, looks like a little like jaggy bit. What's that one for?
It's science.
Science. Do you like science?
Yeah, once we made at home, we made a volcano, and we also done an explode. We made something to do in like an explosion.
One there with like a planet on it. What's that one for? It's the top one.
That one?
Yeah, that one. What's that for?
The space one.
Yeah. What did you do for that?
We like learn about space,
Yeah.
and we learn about how to like remember all the planets.
Young man.
A chef?
A chef.
Chef.
A sheikh. MashaAllah. Oh Allah.
What's a chef?
A sheikh to lead the community, you know, an alim who leads the khutbah, a khatib, yeah? You want to be a khatib, yeah, there we go, mashallah. Oh Allah, let him grow up to be a khatib, and whatever you want to be, I hope it's something to do with science. We need more Muslim scientists. Say Ameen. You got lots of badges, by the way. You've been working hard, man, mashallah. You had more than the leader, the scout leader. He only had 2 badges.
Scouts. We have scouts. We get them to train every Saturday. And we have fun, and we have breaks off it, so we have some time off, and sometimes when we're kind of bored and we can go on somewhere where we have information with people, and we can do that type of stuff.
Scouts.
About
3
years.
Yes, yeah.
2-3 years, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favourite thing about the scouts? Like, what's helped you the most, do you think?
Like, I love doing activities and like creating stuff.
What's been your, like, if I said to you, what's your most memorable moment in Scouts? Like one thing that really sticks out, what would you say is?
I would say it's maybe arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts?
Yeah.
Are you good at that?
Yeah.
What, like, because I remember when I was little, we used to do stuff with like gluing and things like that. It weren't too bad, but I was good, believe it or not, I was good at sewing and knitting. I was very good actually. I could knit a big sheet if I wanted to. But so what sort of stuff do you do in the arts and crafts?
So like we would paint like some stuff, and so we would, I don't know really.
Yeah, just all of it, like.
Yeah.
I know, I get what you mean, because it changes every time, and each time is something new, something a bit more exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because when we're like, I want to do this again,
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
something else, and then you're like, I want to do this again. Because in like,
Introduces new stuff all the time.
you like learn new stuff, and that's what I like about it. You learn new stuff, and you get.
Have you made a fire yet?
Huh?
Have you learned how to make a fire? Look, I don't mean a fire to burn something down, like in the woods.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
you did?
like,
I love that.
Yeah.
like you can rub sticks together, you rub rocks, and
Yeah.
you get matter. You can get wood and light it up.
Yeah, mashallah. Your plan for the future? Obviously, you're doing Scouts now, it's fun.
Yeah.
But is there anything you've discovered in Scouts here? You know what? I wouldn't mind doing this as a career. Anything at all?
Veterinary.
Veterinary?
Yeah.
Mashallah. It's hard work.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But I really like animals, and I really want to help them.
That's a great, noble cause, mashallah.
Yeah, but also since with current events, I really want to help my Muslim brothers and sisters as well. So
So you might go into something else.
Well, I've been a scout. I've been in the scout community for 4 years now, and I was started as a beaver, and now I've gone through, and I'm, inshallah, in a few years' time, I should be a young scout. So we need people who are watching on the show to volunteer for scouts, adults and children. I don't know. At one point, I really wanted to be an activist, like
Yep.
about climate change and like all those stuff that were happening.
Yeah.
And recently, if the Palestinian and like everything that's been happening, like I want to like kind of put a stop to that, like
Yep.
raising my voice up.
Yep.
And because people like my age, they can still do something at
Yeah,
this
they can.
age.
That's
So
right.
Scouts it's just amazing. Like we have to learn about life skills as much as like our like us as people, and like we need to talk about like our life skills. Even my mum, she's a career advisor, so we're always talking about life skills, and Scouts can help us put those life skills to something that you can do.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. As I said, the kids are our best ambassadors. Sorry to put you on the spot, Mike, but I would like to invite you to talk about I've been talking about the group, I've been talking about the place we have in Lewisham Islamic Centre, but as the chair of the Lewisham District of Scouts, what's the vision for Lewisham Scouts, and how can First Lewisham Park play a part in that vision?
You're already playing a very big part in that vision, in that out of all the groups in the district, you've grown more than any other. One or two have beaten you in percentage terms, but if you start with only 2 people, you can get a fairly high percentage fairly easily. but you've risen to the challenge. You've worked through a very, very difficult year, and you come out with more members than you started with. I think that's a great achievement. I think in terms of the vision for Lewisham, we want to see it thriving again. We want to see it's for vision, it's for headquarters vision, really. We want to see a youth movement led by younger people, and it's nice to see that, you know, your leaders are younger than most. There are some very old people in the district. There's nothing wrong with being old. You have a lot of experience, but it needs to be offset by a lot of younger, enthusiastic people as well. So I think you're doing a tremendous job. If anything, what I suppose hasn't happened that much in the past is members of your group taking a more leading role in the district. To some extent, that's because as the group was new, it took time to find its feet and get established. And I know you've had lots of turnover of leaders over the years, but now you are established. You would say you are probably the most successful group in the district. It would be nice to see much more interaction with the rest of the district. I mean, that's not only your group. I mean, there are many groups around the district who haven't perhaps engaged as much as they might have done. So I hope we will eventually turn into a growing district. We will turn into a younger district. We'll turn into a dynamic district, and a district where people find ways of doing things rather than excuses for not doing them, which has sometimes been the case in the past. So I think what you're doing is really great. The only worry I have is that if you're too successful, someone will whisk you away to be district commissioner, and that will weaken the group. That's always our problem. So thank you all very much. You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Mike. It really means a lot. I would, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to invite Taiba and Karina, if you guys have any words that you'd like to say.
It is an absolute pleasure to be part of this group. It's gone from strength to strength, not only for my kids, but for me as well. So giving back to the community is something that's definitely benefited my mental health. And just giving back and doing all that has been so amazing for my family life and everything that we've been doing. So as a group, the community that we've created between the leaders and everything, they are solid friendships, and I'm feeling that with my children as well. So it's an absolute honor to be a part of such an amazing group.
That's humbling. And something that I like to say to anyone considering volunteering is that when it was when the mosque said to me, look, we need a scouts group, it's an excellent platform for tarbiyah, which is the Arabic word for the cultivation of character. I realized very quickly that in helping the children, we are helping ourselves. You know, everything that we hope to teach the children, team leading skills, team working skills, planning skills, even just common courtesy, by demonstrating it and teaching it to the children, we're also helping ourselves. And as Taiba said there, we're doing it in the format of working with other parents, with families. We end up creating, with no extra work, we end up creating, you know, deep, long-lasting bonds, inshallah. We're creating a community here, basically. So whatever you put into this, you get more than that out.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. That was honestly the best I could hope for the AGM. Inshallah, I hope you'll join us for our next year's one, which, yes, I am hoping is going to be joined with like a barbecue or maybe an Eid party or a ceremony, hopefully, and we can all see each other face to face then. Yeah, so Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Feel free to, oh, Irfan. Oh, okay. Treasurer, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, if you don't mind, just very, very briefly, I mean, I would also echo, I guess, what Taiba said. You know, it's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this team. I've seen some of the kids, I appreciate not on a weekly basis, but you know, my interaction with some of the kids in the mosque has allowed me to understand what scouting does for them. I guess also, like you said, for the well-being of parents and others connected. I guess the only thing I would like to add is, as we have here a lot of the section leaders and assistant section leaders, we are with the executive committee trying to figure out ways to make the activities on a weekly basis slightly different, right? More outdoorsy, and I guess from a from a treasurer's perspective, it's my responsibility to ensure that we have the necessary funds available to put on, slightly different and more, you could say, exciting activities. So I think just look forward to that over the coming 6 to 12 months. I think we hope to do a lot more in terms of activities that are more memorable, you could say, for all of them.
Okay, so that's the treasurer himself saying that make the sessions exciting, inshallah. Okay. Do you want to wrap up?
Yeah. Okay. Again, sorry. Thank you so much for joining us. And inshallah, I will see you all face to face at next year's one. So watch out for the date then. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
And thanks again, Mike, for joining us. Thanks.
Been a pleasure.
Bye.